All right, guys, happy Tuesday. Welcome in. Brand new show here at WagerTalk TV. It is the NBA tip-off powered by WagerTalk.com. I'm Joe Raineri, joined by Ski Crawford and Bryan Leonard. Of course, you guys, you know them. If you spent any time at WagerTalk, which we certainly hope you have, you understand that in addition to many other sports, including women's polo, I believe they're Bryan, but that's a different story, a different show altogether. These two guys, when it comes to the NBA, probably the best that you are going to come across. And we got a light card here, so we're excited about the show. We're excited to bring the information to you. We're going to do a couple of things here with this show. We are going to try and bring you the most up-to-date information as of taping. We'll take a look at line movements. We'll go over some of the bets from last night, some of the games, and obviously a short card tonight. Only 4 games, 2 8 o'clocks, 2 10 o'clock games here tonight, so it'll be easy to run through the card, give you some of our best bets, of course, some of the props, and some of our feelings heading into tonight's action. So, Ski, I'll start with you, my friend, and guys, don't be afraid to tail either of these gentlemen on Twitter. You can see the Twitter address right there, at Ski Profit, at B Leonard Sports there. Make sure you guys are tailing them, mostly because they put a lot of free shit out. So you might want to go ahead and find them out there on Twitter. It's always good stuff. Ski, I'll start with you. Last night, man, interesting night in the NBA, to say the least. What was your night like? How's the NBA season been for you so far?
NBA season's been just a little bit of back and forth, but just figuring out who teams are, who they're going to be. As we all know, it's been a lot of movement this year in the NBA, so just figuring everybody out. And we're kind of we're getting in that range now. It's been enough games where we can see who these teams are becoming. And last night, good night for me. I had the Mavericks on the first half. They're one of the teams who scored a little bit more points in that first half. And Spurs, their first half fade. They start all of the game slow. They probably need to change the starting lineup, and I would continue to fade.
Love that. Is Doctor's the real deal in your mind? I mean, is he going to be one of these players where it's, hey, great regular season, but then he's either going to get hurt or he's going to run out of gas? Is he going to be one of these guys, you think?
I don't think so. And I think he's a very skilled player. And that's a little different than other players like Ben Simmons, who in the playoffs, they disappear. I think Doncic will still be good, especially with the help from Porzingis.
Yeah, well, especially because he can hit a three. He's definitely not like Simmons. Bryan, man, what's the NBA season been like for you so far, my man?
Yeah, NBA is going really well, 15-9 on the season. I did pass yesterday. I had 3 games that I bet myself. I didn't give to my clients, and I was able to win 2 of those 3. So, yeah, been on a nice little run, very consistent, and that's really what we're looking for when we're playing these sports where you got action every day, like baseball, basketball. It's not unlike football where you got a whole week to recuperate. Basketball and baseball, the next day you hope to just turn it around if you do have a losing day.
Yeah, no, it's and I don't know. I think we can stress this enough here, guys, that it is definitely, and I know it's cliche, but can we all agree that this is a marathon and not a sprint here, especially with the NBA, because it's really. Have you guys found it's a tale of 2 halves? You know, we'll have the first half here where you'll gather a whole bunch of information. And really, between the first half of the season and the second half of the season, Ski, it's kind of 2 different worlds, is it not? Certainly from a handicapping standpoint.
I agree completely. And I'll say, like, every year around, January, closer to that All-Star break, it just gets to be so black and white. You could just see everything as it's going to happen. So I agree with that completely.
And, Bryan, for those that might just be getting into the NBA right now because they've been spending football or they've been watching football, obviously, been enamored with that, you know, there's a lot going on. What would your advice be to people that are looking and saying, you know what, I'd love to get into the NBA, but how do I manage, 900 sports and there's so much football still to be played here? What kind of advice would you give those diving into the NBA right now?
Yeah, the NBA is so much trying to pick out spots where one team is going to show up and the other team may take it easy a little bit. You find a lot of you don't have as many of the 4 games in 5 nights as you had in the past, but you've got teams 3 and 4. You've got teams playing back-to-backs. We saw this the other day when Atlanta went to L.A., had 2 games in L.A., and it looked like Atlanta was out of the strip clubs the entire weekend. So that's something to keep in mind because the first game we're going to talk about is Portland, and Oklahoma City's on the card today, and they just played yesterday in L.A., playing the Lakers tonight after playing the Clippers last night. We'll have to see if they got as many guys that like to go out and party as the Atlanta Hawks did.
So it's so funny, Ski. I think scheduling's a big part of handicapping the NBA. Is it not here, knowing these guys, knowing what the athlete is in 2019-20, understanding, load management's a factor. There's a lot of those things that go in today that maybe weren't happening 10 years ago.
Agree. Everybody seems like they want to do load management now. And just looking at the card today, I think we have 3 teams on the back-to-back. So, and as Bryan mentioned, 4 games, 5 nights. I think we have one of these teams 3 games in 5 nights. So, a lot of situations to look out for.
Yeah. All right, let's take a look at the market here, guys. They mentioned 4 games, 2 at 8 o'clock, 1 at 10 o'clock, 1 at 10:30. We will start with the New Orleans Pelicans. I still don't know what to make of this team other than they've got 900 guys. They can't figure out how to rotate and play yet, and that's only going to get more fun when Zion comes in. But you've got Portland. Portland and New Orleans. Interesting line movement on this, guys. So far right now, from the numbers of about 7 or 8 different books here that we look at, it's the most handle tonight so far. We seem to be getting the most amount of bets towards this game. Opened up at 231.5 for a total. It's been dropped down to 229.5 in a lot of places. Also opened up as Portland. Can you imagine? Portland is a 3-point favorite. However, the money's all been coming in on the Pelicans. That's moved down to 1.5 in a lot of places. So, Bryan, I'll start with you, man. Portland, New Orleans. Portland, to say it's a bit, I don't know, disconcerting. It's a little. Are you worried about Portland? I mean, we'll get to Carmelo Anthony here, but are you surprised with what we've got going on with Portland? Are you surprised by this line?
Well, Portland actually opened up and took some money. I think it got up to 4 because New Orleans came out and they said some of their players weren't going to be playing tonight. And as Ski pointed out, it's just 1 minute. One team will make a move and say, okay, these guys aren't playing. And then their team turns around and says, well, since they're not playing, maybe we could rest Lillard tonight. And that's why the line has come down here on New Orleans now, a 1-point underdog as opposed to 4 at one point. So it's really tough in an industry where we're trying to get our bets in at a certain time, trying to get the best number, trying to give our clients the best number, and we see these things going on. It makes our job even harder. And NBA over the years, it's hard to handicap. I mean, it's one of those things that you just got to grind out a profit on. And this load management is really making it to the point where it's even harder. Not only do you have to pay attention to the injuries, you got to wait sometimes before you put out a play to make sure that these guys are in there. And it makes it tough for all of us.
So right now, Ski, we're looking at 68% of the tickets being written on Portland, only 32% on New Orleans, but New Orleans getting 57% of the money. So maybe some of the bigger bets coming in towards New Orleans right now, but certainly it feels like the public is all over Portland because we might get Carmelo tonight.
Yeah, everybody hates Carmelo, right? I'll mention really quick, I don't think he has a great game. If I was looking at his prop, I probably would look under his point total. But as far as Portland, I'm not interested in backing them. They haven't shown me anything to make me want to lay money with them. On the road, at home, doesn't matter. Now, New Orleans, a lot of bodies, game time decision out on that side as well. If you like New Orleans, I would have to have Ingram in the game. Lonzo Ball, also game time decision. And the way I kept NBA, I look at a lot of last 5 game stats. And when I'm looking at like the offense, defense, rebounding advantage, New Orleans has the advantage in all of them. So it would be New Orleans or pass for me in this game here. And I would want Ingram in the game.
Bryan, you lean on what? I mean, totals here. I mean, you mentioned, Bryan, it's so hard to figure out. By the time you, let's say, you cap a play and you want to get it out to your clients, then all of a sudden, this guy's not playing. Or this. I mean, is there a time that you try to go into? I mean, is there a certain where clients will be like, you're going to have the plays by this? Is there a caveat when people get the plays? How do you go and deal with this kind of situation where this guy's playing, this guy's not playing?
I try to get them up as soon as possible. That way people can make their own judgments as the game or as the day goes on. Because, I'm competing, even though Ski and I are on the same site and we wish each other well, we're competing for the same clients. So if I can get my plays up a little bit earlier than his and we're going to look for the same number, it gives me a little bit of an advantage and it gives my clients more of an advantage to be able to shop for lines. One of the things that's always irritated me is a lot of guys will give out their plays right before game time, which is great for a certain, who's going to play, but you don't give your clients a chance to shop for lines and get the better of the lines. And if they can't get this, maybe they could play the half. It just really puts them on a tight schedule. And a lot of times people will miss games because of that. So I try to put it out there as soon as I possibly can. And in fact, what I do is once I bet it, I give it to clients. So that's how I look at it. And talking about Carmelo Anthony, I don't think he's a bad player. I just think he's a player that the way he plays, his time has come. And nowadays, you watch the teams, your Golden States, your Bostons, your Houstons, the guys, they're just passing the ball as soon as they get it. They're shooting, they're passing. Well, you put it in Carmelo Anthony's hands, and it's sticky, and it stays.
Yep.
And it's a one-on-one situation. And those teams just don't have success now like he used to have when he was in his heyday.
Yeah. I mean, listen, the truth is it's all about Carmelo as far as his attitude. If he's come to the realization that he just loves the game and wants to play, and he realizes that you're a guy that's going to play the four, that's going to hang out in the corner, and hopefully somebody passes the ball to you so you can shoot a three. And hell, dude, if you can shoot 35% from the corner in three, you'll actually be able to drag out your career for a couple of more years. Just shut your pie hole and contribute to that. To me, remains to be seen. I'm sure he can still shoot. Will he accept the role is going to be the big question. The line seems to be coming down. It looks like Lillard's out, right? Back his status. They're saying he is done here tonight. So does it surprise you, Ski, that the number is coming down a little bit, opened up at 231.5, already down to 229 in some books, probably going to fall even further than that, would you think?
Yeah, everybody will see Lillard out and they'll bet the under. And I'm just not so quick to run to the window to bet unders in Pelicans games. I know it's went under 4 of the last 5 just because a lot of players have been questionable, but I would lean under or pass.
All right, there you go. All right, so game 2 on the card here, 8 o'clock here tonight, guys. You shouldn't even call them Golden State. Maybe they're just the GS because they haven't earned the right to continue to be called Golden State Warriors yet. Awful. Just any team that maybe should light some damn sage or something in the locker room, it would be the Golden State Warriors. Dropping like flies there, Bryan. Dropping like flies, but they are on the road to the Memphis Grizzlies here. This game, 222 was the total it opened up. I'm seeing 221 across the board. 5.5 is what Memphis was laying here at home. And the big question, of course, from there is it's moved to 6. And do you think this line's going to continue to move that way, or do you think we're going to see something else?
Yeah, this line's bounced around from 6.5 all day long. This is my play I gave to my clients earlier today. I gave them Memphis. Save everybody the trouble of going to the site and buying the play. I rate Golden State as by far the worst team in the NBA. I think a lot of people are still thinking that because they've got such a great coach in Steve Kerr, and he is, and he's going to have this is going to probably be his greatest coaching challenge this year, to just probably win 20, 25 games with these guys. Because, I've got Golden State rated so bad that even the games when Curry and some of the other players were playing that were healthy earlier in the season, those were included, and they were still bad. Memphis right now, if you're looking at a normal NBA home court advantage, you're looking at Memphis being maybe 2.5 points better than Golden State on a neutral. I find that a little bit ridiculous at this point. Memphis isn't a bad team. They're a little bit less than an average team. I would grade them on a scale of 1 to 10, maybe a 4.5. But I want no part of this Golden State team. And teams are right now, the good teams are taking it easy on Golden State because they're Golden State. They're going to win the game. They could play their bench guys. Memphis is a team that's just out there trying to win. And when Golden State's going to play these type of teams where you find players that aren't going to get many victories, they're going to give everything they've got against this Golden State team. And I think this number's cheap here at Memphis. It's been bounced at 6.5. I released it at 6.5, although I bet it at 6. But it would not surprise me if this closes at 7. But it looks like it's been bouncing around. Somebody's looking to play the dog. Somebody looking to play their favorite.
Right.
We'll see what happens. But it wouldn't surprise me if this closes at 7.
Yeah, I tell you, it's interesting, too. We've got one of our trends of the day, of course, which we'll bring by you each and every show, guys. If there is a trend, situation, something that we see that we feel has got some value, we'll, by all means, we'll go ahead and point them out to you. And speaking of the Grizzlies and being home, they are currently on a hell of a streak. 111-2 over-under. So they basically have got 1 over, 11 unders, and a couple of pushes when a home favorite in their last 13 games, guys. And the unders hit by an average of 12 points per game. So, I mean, Ski, you look at this total here, and yes, I get it. It's Golden State, 222. It's only moved down to 221. I don't know. You're a little worried about the total in this matchup, knowing that trend?
Well, the thing with that trend is Memphis is a little bit of a different team now. They're playing faster. They're not playing the slow grind it out anymore. So a lot of those games, I mean, I kind of have to throw them out. At the same time, I do agree with the total leaning more towards the under. GS, as you called them, no offense, no defense, but it's just hard to see where points come from. No D'Angelo Russell in this game. Who's going to score the points over there besides Pascal? And for Memphis, I kind of agree with Bryan. I mean, I don't really see anybody stopping John Morant. I'll give you one more trend, Joe. Another trend of the day.
Sure.
Memphis 2-1 first half against the spread. Number 1 in the NBA. I like Memphis first half. I think you ride it until it gets cold.
Wow. Now, what do you think? What do you think that attributes to? Why do you think we're seeing that kind of situation happening right now?
Well, we saw it last year, and I mean, Memphis they start good every game and kind of fizzle out. I don't know what it is, but looking at this game in particular, when I compare the first half numbers, on the first half, Memphis number 9 points per game, Golden State 24th. Then you look at the second half, Memphis fizzles out, they're 24th, and Golden State picks it up, they're number 11th.
Wow. So there you go. I mean, it sounds to me like you guys, GS here, yeah, it's hard to look at them ever in a situation. And do you think the market, guys, even moving forward, Bryan, do you think the market, these numbers going to be baked in here? Is it going to get to a point where we're going to get maybe some value on Golden State at some point because the market just overreacts?
Normally, you would expect to see that if it wasn't for a team that had that name of like Golden State Warriors.
True.
In regards to the total, yeah, Memphis last time out, they allowed 131 to Denver. So you know the coaching staff is going to be talking about a little bit better defense here. And I'm with Ski here. I watched that Golden State game last time out. They probably got 2, maybe 3 guys that can create their own shot on that team. And it's tough to set up an offense unless you're going back and forth for Golden State. And we all know the least amount of talent you have, you want to slow it down. But Golden State's not built that way. Golden State's built to run up and down the court. That's what they've done for years. And when you're playing more possessions, when you've got less talent, that gives the opposition more of a chance to win. So Golden State's in a tough position right here.
Now, they are for sure, and it's not going to get any easier anytime soon, that's for sure. WagerTalk.com, guys, that's where you got to go if you're just joining us. Want to welcome you into a brand new show here on WagerTalk TV. It is NBA Tip-Off. It is powered by WagerTalk.com, of course. Ski Crawford, Bryan Leonard here joining us. WagerTalk.com is where you can find them. Everything you guys need to make it a profitable NBA season at WagerTalk.com with these two guys. You got another interesting game on the card here tonight, guys. First West Coast game, late game here for those of us on the East Coast. You're looking at a 10 o'clock start. You're also looking at the upstart Phoenix Suns, who I'm fairly certain some people thought they might be, well, decent. I don't know that they expected what they're getting right now. Total opened up at 221.5. That didn't last long as they're on the road taking on the Kings here. Down to 216.5, 217 in some places. Opened up as a pick'em to the Kings, but now they're getting some money their way. -2 right now to Sacramento. And Ski, I'll start with you, man. Your thoughts on this game initially with the line?
Well, with Phoenix, Rubio is game time decision, and that's a big part. I mean, you talked about Phoenix coming into this year. They didn't have a point guard last year, and they were terrible. And I mean, a lot of people talked about they needed a point guard. They got one. They're a lot better. They played the last game without a point guard. They lost by double digits. Now on the back-to-back, if Rubio doesn't play, I can't look no other way than Sacramento. Sacramento, I mean, I know it's no De'Aaron Fox, but they've been chugging right along, 7-0 against the spread, their last 7. I think the Kings go ahead and get the victory in this one.
Bryan, what do you think, man? Early line movement here towards Sacramento. You agree with it?
I got to tell you, I'm excited for the Sacramento and the Phoenix fans. I mean, these are two teams got some really good young players on them. Phoenix, just a couple of years, they have certain games where they've looked really good. They just didn't have that consistency. And now, as Ski pointed out, now with the point guard, this is a team right now that is, I've got them rated really high. The thing is, with Phoenix, though, when you take a look at things that they really can't control, like shooting percentage from three from the opposition, the opposition has shot very poorly from three against Phoenix. So that's going to come into some regression as you go on here. But these are two teams that I think are underrated as you go into the season. I'm looking to bet on them. This game, the line's about where I thought it should be here. So I'm going to pass on the game, but I'm looking forward to make money on both these teams. And, right now, a lot of people are thinking Phoenix is playing over their head, but this is a team that anytime you've got young talent that is starting to come around and starting to play well together, that's a team. You just watch them play. And I know Ski watches a lot of NBA too. You can just see the way these guys work with each other. And they're happy all the time. And it's fun to watch teams that have had struggle winning in the past few years being able to play that way. And Sacramento got off to that terrible start. Everybody's thinking, here we go, Sacramento again. Well, since then, Sacramento's played some of the best ball in the league. I like both these teams. I think the line's where it should be, so I'm going to be passing on this one.
Not a lot of value there. All right, you got one other game on the board here tonight, guys. OKC, you mentioned it. What is this game, like 5 in 3 nights or something? It just feels like Oklahoma City is continuing to play and play and play every night. Taking on the Lakers in L.A. Opened up at pretty much stale movement here, guys. Not a lot going on. 210. 210.5 is what the total is. Opened up with the Lakers as a double-digit favorite, laying 11 here tonight. And, Ski, what are your thoughts here? Not sure, back-to-backs. This is one of those things where, depending on how you look at handicapping these types of back-to-backs or back-to-back-to-back, whatever it may be here, what do you think here? How are you approaching this game?
Well, one thing, looking at OKC, their defense was good to start the year, and it's kind of regressing just a little bit. That's the first thing that comes to my mind. And OKC's been playing a lot of games lately. I kind of caught it late. You said, 5 games in 3 days?
Yeah, so that's what it feels like, right? They played a doubleheader, a day-night doubleheader. They had on Tuesday.
Yeah, it seems like that. But the way I look at it, all these they've been playing in back-to-back, you have to back them early. First half against the spread, they're 10-3, so they're up there in the top tier of the league. And if you like the Lakers, you like them more on the full game or in the second half. Sometimes you see them come out and start slow and then pick it up and cover the game. I think OKC's kind of outclassed here. I think they've been playing too many games. I like the Lakers, and I kind of would think there would be less points because I think the Lakers can hold OKC.
Interesting, too, as far as the split here. 29% of the spread tickets so far taking the points. Taking the 11 here for Oklahoma City Thunder, but it's a big portion of the money, too. 49% of the money there, Bryan, is going towards OKC on the spread, too. So there looks to be some money back in OKC with the 11 points here.
Yeah, Oklahoma City's played better than I thought of coming into the season. They did have a couple days off before they played the Clippers yesterday, so it is the second of a back-to-back. But I'll be honest with you. When the Lakers brought in Davis, I thought it was going to take some time, like it did last year for the Lakers, before they could start playing better. I'm a big LeBron fan originally from Cleveland, so I've followed his career all along. And every time he's gone to a different city and had to play these games with new players, it's taken him time to gel. The Lakers have gelled much faster than I thought they ever would. LeBron's leading the league in assists, over 11 assists a game. That's LeBron's game. Right. And now he doesn't have to fight for the rebounds because Davis is so good inside, and they've got other guys. This Lakers team has been so impressive so far, and they really don't even know each other yet. So it's going to take something pretty extraordinary for me to look to play against the Lakers at this point, and you've got their key players playing in this game. I'd have to lean with the Lakers here. I don't know if it'll make my playlist, but I may end up putting a bet on the Lakers one way or another, whether it be something in game but as Ski pointed out, Oklahoma City is more of a better first half team. So we'll see. Maybe get some in game, maybe second half here. look at the Lakers and be able to get a play in there.
Good stuff. All right, now usually, guys, what we'll do here on the shows moving forward is maybe point out one or two of our favorite dogs of the night here. But of course, because of the limited card, only 4 games here. Not sure if there is a money line dog that either of you like on this card here tonight, and if not, is there a dog in general, something that you like here on the card? I'll start with you, Ski. Any sort of plus money you're looking at here tonight?
If I'm taking a dog on the NBA card, I know it's become a little bit of a shorter dog, but it would have to be New Orleans. I'm not backing Portland. I'm not laying any points with Portland. Like I said, I think last 5 games, offense, defense, rebounding, advantage goes to New Orleans. If Ingram's in, that's even more advantage for New Orleans. So if I'm picking one dog on the NBA card, it would be the Pelicans.
How about you, Bryan? Anything tickle your fancy here tonight you're looking at with plus money?
Yeah, I'm not a big fan of the dogs tonight, but if I was to choose the one, it'd be New Orleans.
Yep.
Getting the point right there. So obviously playing on the money line makes a lot of sense. But yeah, it's just not a good night in my opinion for the dogs.
Okay, and how about it props there? Any props? I know you mentioned Carmelo earlier there. Is there anything you're looking at from the prop side?
Yeah, I looked at a couple. I'll just kind of rapid fire really quick. I kind of am interested in Melo under his 9.5 points. For Memphis, I'm interested in John Morant. Whether it's points, assists, I don't think Golden State can defend him or stop him, so I think he'll go over his point total. I think I like that a little bit more. And Devin Booker, if Rubio is out, I think he'll have to play a little bit more of a point guard, and that'll be less scoring for Booker. So I like it under his point total. And last, Gilgeous-Alexander for OKC. I mean, he's been averaging 20 points, over 18 points is his point total. It seems like a good look to me.
What about Bryan? Got anything? You got anything in the prop market you're looking at here tonight?
Yeah, I don't do a lot with props, although the LeBron assists looks like a positive. The Lakers got the next 2 days off. Oklahoma City played yesterday, second of a back-to-back. Lakers are going to try to run and would obviously look for more assists, so I would expect that to be a good day for LeBron.
All right, and we will wrap up the first show here, guys, and I'll start with you, Ski. Listen, somebody, you find a bag of cash on the street, right, walking in L.A., you're like, oh, damn, look at that, it's $1,000. What am I doing with it? Where are you going with it? Where are you putting it on the game tonight?
If I have to pick one, I'm going to rock with Sacramento. I think no point guard for Phoenix. If Rubio doesn't play, I think it's pretty easy pickings for Sacramento. So I rock with them.
All right, Bryan, what about it, man? You find $5 in the street. Where you going? Are you going red or black at the roulette table, or you going a game? What are you doing, man?
If I'm in downtown Los Angeles and I find a bag with $1,000 in it, I'm running, and I'm not even touching that bag because somebody's setting me up, man. I've been there before. I know how it goes. Now, I'm going to play Memphis -6, as I mentioned before. To me, that's the best bet on the board. And if you can catch the Lakers in the second half with a decent number, I may look at that also as a play for tonight.
All right, there you go. Definitely 2 guys you want to be able to follow, guys. Certainly right there on Twitter, @SkiProfit, @BLeonard Sports. But make sure you guys head over to WagerTalk.com. Both of their pages available. Of course, packages available. Plays always available. Doesn't take all you got to do right now. As soon as you're done watching this, first thing you do is like this video. And then the next thing you do is hit that little bell in the upper right-hand corner. Never miss an episode here of the brand new NBA tip-off powered by WagerTalk.com. And then head over to WagerTalk.com. Get your plays up. Get them ready to rock and roll. And you guys, everything as of taping, you guys ready to go here? People can head over to WagerTalk.com and get set up tonight?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, they definitely can. I talked about the NBA play I gave out here, but I do have a hockey play up also for tonight, and done very well in hockey. Very, very selective with my plays. We got a nice looking one tonight.
All right, there you go, guys. No reason for you not to make it a profitable Tuesday night. Heading over to WagerTalk.com. Ski, Bryan, always a pleasure, guys. Look forward to doing this again. And you guys, make sure you understand every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, we'll go ahead and do this show for you, getting you ready for the NBA slate. You guys rock. Thank you so very much for the time. Good luck to the both of you tonight. We'll talk again tomorrow.
Appreciate it. Best of luck to everyone.